Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're really diving into a foundational text, the Bhagavad Gita. And specifically, its very first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, which, well, it translates roughly to Arjuna's dilemma, or perhaps despair. Our goal here is to pull out the key insights from this really pivotal opening moment. We're focusing on that profound human conflict right there on an ancient battlefield.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how it starts? You have one of the greatest warriors ever, Arjuna, and his biggest challenge isn't, the enemy army. It's actually within himself, right as everything's about to kick off.
Absolutely. So let's paint that picture a bit. You got the huge battlefield, Kurukshetra, and it opens with the blind king, Dhritarashtra. He's full of, anxiety, basically, asking his charioteer Sanjaya, who has this divine sight, what his sons and the Pandava sons did when they gathered for war.
Right. That question itself, it sets the whole tone. There's this undercurrent of dread from the very beginning.
Exactly. And then, almost immediately we see Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana. He's looking over the Pandava army. He's actually pointing out its strength to his own teacher, Dronacharya. There's a kind of bravado there. He seems ready. But then, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Arjuna, the mighty warrior, he asks Krishna, his charioteer, to drive him into the middle.
Yeah.
Between the armies.
Yeah, he wants a clear view, wants to see who he's actually up against.
And what happens? Instead of that warrior's fire, he's just struck, overwhelmed by this deep disillusionment, sort of melancholy.
He sees his own people, grandfathers, teachers, uncles, family, friends, lined up on the other side, ready to kill and be killed.
And that's the core question, right? Why does seeing them, his kin, paralyze him like this?
Well, the source material points directly to his attachment, his moha, this sort of delusion born from connection. It hits him so hard, he actually drops his famous bow, Gandiva, just lets it slip from his hand, and he says it point blank, "I will not fight." He doesn't want to kill his own people for a kingdom.
It's such a dramatic moment, the ultimate warrior refusing to fight at the crucial second. So, okay, what does this all mean? Why start here? This first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, it's just 46 verses, but it feels incredibly important, foundational even.
It absolutely is. If you connect it to the whole Gita, its significance is huge. It's not just about Arjuna feeling sad. It vividly portrays his intense mental conflict, rooted, like we said, in attachment. It immediately forces us, the readers, the listeners, to think about the morality of this war, and maybe even the morality of, any conflict. It throws these fundamental questions about life, duty, and emotion right in your face from page 1.
Yeah, it's not just a battle scene. It feels like a deep dive straight into human psychology, universal stuff.
Definitely. Arjuna's paralysis, his attachment, it kind of blinds him to the bigger picture, to his dharma, his duty as perceived in that context.
So this despair isn't just weakness, it's actually the trigger for the whole teaching that follows.
Exactly right. His breakdown, his confusion, it becomes the perfect setup. It creates the need for the wisdom Krishna is about to impart. It's the problem that the rest of the Gita sets out to solve. How do you act rightly when your heart and your duty seem to be pulling you in opposite directions?
Wow. So a real aha moment here.
Yeah.
Maybe the greatest battles we face aren't out there.
But right here? Inside? Yeah?
This ancient text, then, it's really challenging us, even now, to think about our own values when we're faced with these incredibly difficult choices.
Absolutely. What really stands out to you when you think about Arjuna's dilemma? What resonates?
And maybe for everyone listening, how do those personal attachments, those connections, shape your toughest decisions? What values guide you when duty, or what you think is duty, clashes hard with your emotions? Something to really chew on.